Hello friends and welcome to episode 14 of our Nova Roma modded Crusader Kings III playthrough. On the previous episode we strengthened ourselves and left ourselves with the question, which cultural path do we want to take ourselves down, and we're also approaching the piety level of reforming the Roman religion and hopefully taking it well into the late 10th century. Modern Romanism is what we're going to call it. In the previous episode we made quite a number of expansions, and as you can see here, the main issue we are now presented with is that our nephew, who is older than us, Germanicus, now has his own kingdom, which does have one province within our borders, as well as quite a bit of land in the north, as you can see here. And as we resume on the map of the actual game, our loving best friend of a nephew, Germanus, has created, as you can see, his own kingdom. So we now have the Regnum of You, which is mostly grounded up here in the sort of Tibetan mountains, or approaching that sort of part of the world. And so the Randolfica dynasty has increased its prowess, but unfortunately has taken a tiny little slither of land here. We obviously don't want to go to war with our friend and our nephew here, so we're probably going to just keep an eye on that and see what we can do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to immediately host a grand feast, get everyone pulled in together. We're then going to go down here, we're going to look at our culture. So I've been thinking about this reformation, right? The reforming of the Roman culture. So the one that is standing out to me most here in terms of what we've achieved and what we've been doing is actually mendicant mystics. So the mystic line of traits have additional bonuses. The mystic line of traits are more common, and wandering mystics, etc. are much more likely to come and say hello and offer booms. I've had a look through them all and I feel like this is probably the most fitting. I think this is what we're going to choose. So we're going to establish this as a new tradition. And there we go. That will take, 11 years, and then that will kick in. So that's excellent. The next reform we'll be looking for to do is the religion, and to reform the religion, we need 1006 piety. You can see, Kylanius, now 38, very much at the head of his family. He's strengthening the position. The only thing we may look to do is increase our military size. We have one more retinue we can do here. I think, honestly, we're going to increase the size of our heavy infantry, as well as our bowmen, and our pikemen, and I guess the onagers as well. We'll let our gold recover a bit, and then we're going to add another retinue here. What we'll add, I honestly don't know at this point, but we're going to be adding something. Let's let time resume and see if there's any events that are waiting to unfold. A cheery gathering of friends. Welcome everyone. Oh no. Barely managed to sit down at my seat when I hear a howl emerging from Comus Titus. So Comus Titus is our vassal. He and Barolus have gotten into it. They are damaging the Sutta Pitaka. Who do we like the least? Titus, actually. He's going to pay us 80 for it. I'm happy to do that. He can pay us for the sacrilege they caused. And now our guests depart. I wouldn't say that was that uneventful. There was still quite a bit going on. Now, in terms of our military, I think it's time to create a new men-at-arms. Now, the question is, do I want more pikemen or do I want to get some more armoured footmen? Now, with us being a legion, you know, we're recreating the legion. I feel like the heavy infantry is probably the best approach. So we can get them up to 3 out of 8. And then I think what we need to do is, as time progresses, as our gold increases, we'll perhaps look to maybe increase their size. Our next Germanus, the bone claim in the county of Pimaco, he's expanding. Our nephew is expanding here, who's, if I'm not mistaken, older than us. Sorry, our nephew is 6 years older than us. To the charming recount, it's come to mention that the lost fugitive Rufinus has been staying in your court. I'm not sure who he is, to be honest. Who are you? She's a neighbouring ruler of the Rash Kingdom. I think we'll basically tell her where to go. The man is of Roman culture, Roman faith, and she thinks she can come in here and demand them. You know what? We're going to protect the Roman way. So we're 38 now. We're obviously trusting, wrathful, and temperate. We've got all of the sort of diplomacy traits here backed up with a mystic. Stats-wise, we're pretty steady. I mean, the wrathful's what I'm remembering. She's trying to get in against basically a Roman individual. So I think what we're going to do here, I think we'll try and take this off her and just sort of shore up the frontier. We should be able to do this ourselves just with our troops. And the Holy Order we will raise as well because it's basically free. We're going to go straight for their capital. And let's get a quick early win here. Raise the morale of the Roman people. Well, we're raising our troops. We've already got a battle here. The Battle of Midgal. That's on their capital pre-siege. And as you can see, we've made very light work of them. Their allies are apparently joining them, not that I think it's going to make much of a difference. Here we will combine the troops. I'm going to station some besiegers and then move the army north to try and intercept anything coming this way. I'm going to try and carpet siege a bit here. Pertil, our rival, and someone else's steward. Pertil's cold-heartedness has always bothered me, but recently it's been getting on my nerves more than ever. I want to get back at her for this behaviour, but what should my reprisal be? So she is vengeful, paranoid, and shy. If she's shy, we should probably write a poem. I feel like that would embarrass her more. Oh, our antiquarian has died, as has our royal arc. What the hell's going on there? The witty rhymes and clever innuendo I worked into my scathing critique of Pertil's character has been going around her court like wildfire. Try as she might, she cannot suppress their spread, which only adds to her embarrassment. Maybe this one. Okay. Right, anyway, more importantly, here, I want to continue promoting culture. The Roman way is spreading. We've got a little bit of a foothold in Kylanium. So Kylanium in the northwest, named after either our father or ourself, is causing the spread out that way. So looking here, I think we probably want to try and get the Maldives over to our way. They are Roman after all and have been for quite some time. So we'll be looking to carry that out. And then here, we're just going to let this war sort of continue. Here we will station an appropriate amount of troops and then we're going to go up and try and take care of this army. Our 7,500 men are moving north and we have a new diplomacy perk. I think we'll go for Ducal Conquest. The Ducal Conquest Casus Belli. It's not one I've ever used. Removing ourselves from the role playing what's going on in this game, I don't think I have ever used that in my entire time playing Crusader Kings III. So I think here what we're going to have to do is leave half our army and then perhaps move the other half back down here to help should this 900 men come over here. And on that note, we have captured a very, very early enemy ruler and we are going to immediately propose a peace, disband our troops, and we're going to start off this episode with a nice early conquest here. Now, Comatissa Obiama, she actually has quite a few titles here. As does this lady. I think we'll grant this to just a random of our culture, who is hopefully a steward, and I dare say content. So Florian Flavian, I think we can do better than that. Vassal, okay, he is of Romanism, but he's not of our culture. We obviously want people of our culture here. So Germanus Isaurian, he will stand up to the job and become a count, a landed count. Okay, we allow this to continue. Kylanius comes of age. With his coming of age, my tuition of Kylanius is at an end. With sufficient tutelage, even a child that has displayed little natural inclination towards diplomatic influence, such as Kylanius, can truly come to understand it. Let's see how he's grown up. So, he is a charismatic negotiator. He is callous, just, and impatient. Callous, just, and impatient. Interesting. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to give him the crown of Kylanius. It's our old crown. I think he's earned it. We'll also give him a Roman spear once he's accepted that. But I think he's a good character. I think he's got a bit of potential there. So he's accepted that artifact. We'll then give him the Roman spear. You can use them just now. And I don't think we're going to look to marry him quite yet. We're not going to look to marry him quite yet. Now he is a champion. He has stepped up. He's wanting to command. He's wanting to lead in the field, gain his own experience, his own coin. I think we'd allow that. We'd allow that. Plus we have many children at the back of him. We have Prince Cyanus, Princeps Magnus, and at the end we've got Princess Avitus. So there's a good few children there. Apparently our Chancellor has either vacated or died. 28. 28 there. I think that needs to be done. I think that just needs to be done. The other thing I should probably have looked at is we need to appoint some new roles within here, I believe. So our antiquarian, Gaia Flavian, she can take it. Our food taster, I don't think we want to put anyone. Master of the horse, I think we'll put Commes Paulus in. The royal architect, we'll put in Commes Julius. Well, that being said, Commes Polanius, he's of Kylanium. He does have the architect trait. He's a little bit younger. I think we'll have some faith in him. Our court poet, there's no one available. Court musician, Alexander Randolfica. Princeps Kylanius. Our player heir could be I think we'll give it to Alexander. And then I think we'll allow time to pass once again. Nice early conquest getting on the board there. As their Rex, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of a crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? Unwavering loyalty. I would rather drop taxes and have people be loyal to me, especially as a diplomatic focused character. Okay, I've had a little look. Our numbers have raised in terms of troops and we're in a healthy position. And I think it's time to try and take this over as a fully Roman enclave here. We take this, we've got a nice small frontier here. I think this is just what makes sense as the next logical step for us. On top of this, and whilst we're up here, I think what we're also going to do is perhaps look towards Bati and maybe declare a second war. For this, we'll take the island, and that'll be this sort of region well and truly in our hands. And I think these are the wars we're gonna raise just now. We're gonna raise our troops here. We are gonna raise our troops right here at the frontier. We'll raise all of our armies, and the Holy Order will be joining us once again as we try to further the Roman way. We're going to send the Holy Legion up towards the north, and the new chaps are going to go siege this down. Then we'll move towards this island. That will be the last, probably, conquering that we'll have. Our wife is once again pregnant. I'm not sure if I'm celebrating that or not. This man is a holy warrior. He seems like the perfect person to be commanding our forces there. And I think what we'll do here is we'll send them there. Oh, paying homage. My vassal Baro Callistus has arrived outside my castle with a grand procession of well-dressed diplomats, champions, and exotic entertainers. The fellowship resembles a parade led by Callistus himself. In a booming voice, Callistus announces that he is here to pay homage and that he comes bearing gifts of gold, in italics. Such generosity is hard to find in a subject. Callistus' loyalty is truly something to treasure. Please enter, deposit your gold on your left. Keep your... Nah, I think we'll be happy to take the gold and the prestige and the parade. They can bring their way in. I do like that it now pops up saying that we can call in Rex Germanus, who on his own has got 3,000 men. So that's another branch of our family, another Roman king up in the... I mean, I don't know... I'd love to know the true rise of his power and how he came to be up in U. But I think it's just a family marriage that went the right way. And down here, we're basically carpet sieging the enemy. I think they're going to struggle to dislodge us. That being said, the Holy Order here is going to be outnumbered quite considerably. So I think what we're going to do is station troops and try and withdraw some forces back to the mainland. It looks like they might be coming this way. And if they do attack us there, I think we're in trouble, which it looks like they are going to. We need the Holy Order to sort of hang on, although it looks like they're coming down here rather than attacking us. So that's certainly unexpected. Let's move you there. You can stay there. And you lads, we're going to just station enough troops to do what we need to do. We're going to try and cut them off. I assume they're coming down here. Yeah, right, so here. And here we're going to merge the troops. We're going to try and head them off and we're going to bring in the reinforcements. It's actually a very large battle. It's going to probably set the tone for the rest of the war, the outcome of this. There we go. They initially have the edge, but we've got reinforcements arriving and we've caught them. Our skirmisher's doing a bit of work there. Our heavy infantry isn't doing great. And our champion, Honorius, is once again doing some work for us. We have here Comes Aurelius coming to bend the knee. We will receive him. And we will happily accept his nod to us. Here we'll merge the troops and I think we'll go over here. This war's about to end, I believe. And I think these ones are not long for the pile as well. This one's over. We'll send the troops back there. We're going to siege here. Our men at Kuch are going to come back, rejoin there. I guess we'll send the contingent up towards Bati shortly. I also notice we have, once again, another legacy to basically enforce. We've been very, very active. I think Kylanius hasn't been as active in warfare. So as much as I want to take that, I don't think that's the sort of right decision. I think for Kylanius II, I honestly think he has been much more involved with either erudition or law. It's probably going to be law. I think that's what probably makes the most sense. So we're going to take law. It's going to give us a boost to title creation in terms of a discount and more control per month. And that's all over. Makes the most sense, I think. And one war is over here. Drawing that to a close, that brings this sort of enclave in this area of the map fully under our control. We can then send our forces up. We're going to come up to the north here and try and vanquish this war. This one, I think we've got two vassals here sort of competing, right? I think what we'll do is we'll give this one to this chap. So here we have Comes Aurelius. He's only landed in here by the looks of it. So I think what we'll do is we'll give him this bit of land. That way we've got 3 sort of men in here that could be dukes. I think that can work out. That'll be just fine. My son, Bishwes Devi, you've been so brave. We've got another son here, Flavanius. It's not a terrible name. We could deal with Flavanius. That could be a good one for the family, for the annals. We can ransom prisoners, and naturally, as always, I'm going to ransom all of them. Money is always better in our pocket. We're back there. Disband the troops. That'll help our money situation improve, I dare say. And then here we're going to go up. We're going to siege the capital and see what we can do in that front. That's a win there. Suggesting I've got about 2,000 men here. If they're leaving, I'm happy to allow them to leave, and then I'll just siege the capital quite happily. Your friend Valens has died. That is the guy on the Western Enclave. It is. So he's dead. That means there's a new ruler in place. On Scotora. This is Duke Valens III, the same family. I think it makes sense for us to befriend him. We've been friends with all of his lineage. We want to keep good relations there. It's the closest Roman enclave we have back to the motherland. The area of our conception as a culture and as a religion. The epicenter that still remains that we're cut off from. We're going to call a hunt just now. And I think we'll also commission a new artifact. And I think this time, looking at ourselves in our regalia, I think it's time we get a new piece of armour. We've not done a new piece of armour in a while, have we? Let's try and get some good armour. I think we want a dependable scale armour. We want a good Roman scale armour. Keep us safe. Bounding through the plains, I am gaining on the powerful boar I have been chasing for hours. Just as I prepare to strike, I can hear my nephew, Comes Claudius. I mean, we're a family man, so we're going to do our best to try and save him. Our absolute best. We're trained in medicine. We have returned from the wild, reinvigorated, and we've become a novice hunter. Good to see the Holy Order is expanding here. Hopefully that's something that can continue. And then here, the war's over, as well as trying to impress someone. We're not trying to impress anyone. We'll name it after whatever the hell we want. And that happens to be nothing at all. With this victory, though, we do take the entirety of these isles. So we now have a fairly defendable point as a sort of northwestern enclave. I think that's probably as big as we want that just now. We might be looking slightly further afield now for perhaps a new enclave. We could maybe even look over towards this direction, see if we can get a sort of small trading post put in there. Now, with our son being 17, I think it may be time to now find him a spouse. Looking around, I think we probably want to start marrying to Roman individuals of our culture and our religion. And looking at that, one of the ones up here is Atia of Banvad. Our son is 17, she is 18. She is just, as is he. She's craven and stubborn. So there's quite a mix there. I mean, he's not brave, he's impatient, he's callous. I think that's a good match. So we're going to marry them together. They're related. It's the Romans, man. This is what they do. This is what they do. Here, I think we just want someone that's independent and on their own. Florian Flavian has been standing up the top. I'm happy to give him the job. So the enclave there is looking pretty sweet, I would say. It's looking accomplished. It looks like it could thrive itself. We're going to keep an eye on our... I keep wanting to say uncle, but he's actually our nephew. We'll keep an eye on him just now. Is he at any wars just now? He has no wars currently. We can technically declare war on him and seize this de jure kingdom. I'm not sure if I want to, though. I mean, we really like him. We've no reason to, being completely honest. There's no reason for us to. I think we'll let some time pass and see what occurs. Sejanus comes of age. So Sejanus is a warrior. They grow up so fast. Inspiration, the Rex's treasure. My deeds are spoken of with reverence and envy the world over, from foreign courts to village taverns, and, with that, come the supporters. Today, Ioannes is ushered in, and introduced as representing a small Romanic brotherhood from Nova Carthaga in Novo Carthaga. I mean, that makes sense. Most Holy Rex, my friends and I hear of wondrous scale armour being made for you, and wish to donate to your armourer. It would deeply honour us, your majesty. We have saved for months. That's really cool. That's really cool. I think we'll accept that. I think we'll accept that. That's really cool. We're closer than ever. We are now friends with Dukes Valens III. So the local courtiers of Novo Carthaga, they have actually banded together to create this Roman scale armour. I'm not sure how excited I'm going to get over this. I think the answer is not very, because if we look, this is +3 prowess, 0.1 prestige and knight effectiveness up 2. This I would say is considerably worse. So the only thing this is going to be good for, I would say, is probably sending to our son. So I think it makes sense that Kylanius would be sent it. The Roman scale armor can go to him. We're then going to have Sienus as well. We can send Sienus some items just to try and keep him safe and keep him, I guess, essentially equipped for war. We can send him the Banjo Spear. It's not terrible. And we'll look to just keep our children safe and equipped where we can. Here we have I guess we've got an event. Claiming to be an exile from a faraway land, Princess Freydis has appeared in court accompanied by a vast array of exotic animals and has already performed incredible works of charity throughout the streets of Nova Roma. The magnanimously wealthy foreigner has declared her intent to marry my son Sienus. As much as the court is abuzz with enthusiasm for this exotic princess, not everyone is convinced. My vassal Commes Paulinus claims to have never heard of the distant land the foreigner claims to be from and cannot find it on any maps. He, along with several other like-minded followers, have denounced Princess Freydis as a charlatan and insist that we punish her for attempting to deceive Sienus into marrying a lowborn. He's of the Vidar. She's Norse. She's Amazonian. She is deceitful. Is our son happy? Our son seems to be very happy. I think we'll allow it. What a great little bit of I guess, roleplay. We'll allow our son to marry. So Kylanius is now married. Sienus is now married as well. I might look to get him a piece of land and actually land him. We've got another perk available. The forced vassalization casus belli. That sounds good to me. Our wife is pregnant again. My God. And we've finished increasing control, which is something I think we're going to have to just constantly do throughout this game. Trying to get control of the Isle back. We'll see how that continues playing out. Now we've got a force. We can enforce vassalization. So who would we want to do that upon? The Rash would be a good move, but I don't think that's an option. It needs to be someone who's a duchy. So we could try and do it here. I really don't know where to use it. It'd be like one of the duchies we have. I think it would be in the best interest of our realms to arrange a meeting with our heirs, Kylanius and Germanus, making sure they build a stable and healthy relationship. Now would certainly ensure the future stability of our lands. Germanus, I think that is a tremendous idea, good sir. So we have this is fantastic. We have Rex Germanus of EU there ruling. I am Kylanius II, and both of our children have taken our names. So Germanus and Kylanius, we want them to basically get on. I think that's a delightful idea. The arranged meeting between Germanus and Kylanius is a perfect opportunity to craft the foundations of a long-lasting relationship between the realm of Rex Germanus. I should be very careful when planning the encounter. I think Germanus should come down to us, and it means that we can influence the meeting. I've arrived in Nova Roma. Dux Lucius of Picandu is coming in to bend the knee and pay homage. We graciously accept. Our court grandeur has increased. Germanus is met with all pomp and circumstance appropriate for such a distinguished guest. He will remain in the county of Nova Roma for a few weeks, during which he and Kylanius will get to know each other better. I will make sure to help my son and heir. Yeah, I think we'll look to help our son and heir there. Germanus was impressed by my hospitality, and they have a blooming friendship. It appears fate has conspired to prevent the meeting between Kylanius and Germanus. Perhaps a new opportunity. Oh, really? That's interesting. And our son Magnus has came of age. Magnus is an elusive shadow, so that's certainly not a bad thing. I think again here we'll look to perhaps give him something that could equip him better going forward. So for this we have some mail here not being used. We'll give that to him. And I think we'll immediately look to marry him. Probably for an alliance. Now, I don't think we want to be marrying this soon to the U. It's a little bit, let's just say, too related. Now, he's 18, so you want someone that's of roughly the same age. And we're not in a rush here, so I think we're actually going to back off just now and just wait. I think we'll just wait. Here we can ransom 34. Nope, we're looking for the full amount, I'm afraid. So you can just wait. We have a daughter now called Minucia. It's quite a nice name, I like that. And we have 3 prisoners we can ransom. Although it looks like no one can afford. So I guess they're going to be at our leisure a little bit longer. A curse undone. Okay, someone random that I don't know who they are, apparently that we didn't like, has died, so that's relieving stress. I'm happy with that. Our rival. Our councillor Julius has died, our long-serving steward. To step up now, we have Commes Polinius of Kylanium. It seems very fitting that he become our steward, ruling our namesake. Now, I've got an idea here, right? We're obviously hoping and planning that the Kingdom of You up into they're in a civil war. Rex Germanus is in a civil war. We were obviously hoping that he would be here long term. I was going to actually rename this enclave and perhaps leave this as something that they could have as a holding so that it would have a diplomatic point. I honestly think we're going to offer to join. We can't offer to join the war. Oh, Rex Germanus, how much have you bitten off? He's winning both of them, so maybe he's going to be okay. I honestly do want to help him, but the game does not want us to. So I guess we'll just let time pass and hope that they fare well. Cradled by sickness. All babies cry, but with little Minucia there is no end to the tears. I desperate want the midwife to ease my worries, but her furrowed brow, oh no. She's not gaining any weight. Come on, little one. You inherited the county of Congo and 2 other titles from Queen Mother Oh, our mother's died. Our Queen Mother has died. So we've just been given a load of titles. Get scattered sort of all throughout the land here. I think we will disperse them between some of our children. So Princeps Kylanius, I think I'm going to allow him to be educated a bit more and then we'll give him a bit of land. I think Cyanus, we're going to give some land here. We'd want him to become a ruler and gain his own stead. So we'll give him we're going to give him Mahishaka there. We're going to give that to him, allow him to create his own destiny. And then Princeps Magnus, we're also going to give him a title, we'll give him Talakad. I think with him now being a son and vassal, we'll look to marry him. And we're looking for alliance power here. We don't want to marry you, it's a little bit too close to home. The Katuri Kingdom, she's too young. 22. Gets an alliance with the High Chiefdom of the Zial. Or we get a good Roman lady. We can't marry there. I mean, we've already got hunchbacks there, a little bit too related to us. They're actually offered dynasty. I don't think we can do that quite yet. It's a little, it's not dilute enough. Let's go for relevance and see who's towards the top. Pasang Zeul. It's suggesting her. I suppose that'll work. We'll allow this. It's kind of... Both parties are agreeing to it and quite happy with it, so we'll allow that to pass. We have one call to war. We immediately ally them and they call us in. My god, they are so far away. I don't know if we're going to be able to get troops up there in time. I think what I'll do... I think I'll raise our personal guard and we'll send them up. So we'll raise all of our men at arms. Once they're ready, we'll send them up. We're not going to send any of our actual troops. We'll send them up here. They can make their way. So we've got 737 gold at the moment. We're going to divine the stars. And I think with our 737 gold, we'll look to make a few improvements. So I think Novo Carthago, I think would hold them quite favourably. Especially with their previous outpouring of support for myself. So I think here we're going to build a barracks. Isthium, I think here we're going to look to build... We're going to go for hunting grounds. And Polonarua, I think we're going to look here to build some military camps. I think we're also, honestly, here, we're going to look to rename this. We're going to rename this to Kylanius. I think it just works, it fits in, it's going to make it a lot more of a Roman sounding name. We have converted the faith once again. Fantastic. Means we can once again try to convert the faith elsewhere. That means up here in the northwest, we are slowly bringing them round to our way. 18 years it's going to take in Kylanium. You know what? I don't think we're quite that committed yet. So I think what we'll look to do is continue converting here as we head to the north. I think that's a better idea. Divining the stars. I've spent many nights looking up the night sky, tracking the movements of the celestial bodies. We are anticipating a great battle. Not sure how we feel about that. Time's going to be the big telltale there. We have yet another diplomacy perk popping up. I think this time we're going to go down here and look for defensive negotiations. We can propose an alliance without a marriage. Greetings, my charming liege. We'd like if your son Avitus could visit my court in Rameshvaram. And you are Baral Crassus. You're roughly the same age. Of course he'll be there. Tagdur here, I think we're going to grant this just to Licinius Heraclean. Content, he's chaste, he's craven. You can have a piece of land there. And that's us back under our limit. We're looking pretty good. If my eyes do not deceive me, have we just reached the magic number? Reform the Roman faith. And our child is back already at Avitus with a successful meeting. My daughter-in-law Atty has given birth to a son. Since the little one is of the Randolfica dynasty, he should be blessed with a good name. So this is Kylanius. This is another Kylanius here. We're gonna continue. The firstborn has always been called Kylanius, and I think we're gonna continue that just now. With this, we can hold court. We'll usher in the plebeians once again. A call to war. O munificent Rex Kylanius, I am Manaladevi, and I have travelled far to ask for your aid in righting a great injustice. The woman in front of me bows deeply before continuing with her well-rehearsed plea. My cousin Raja Kaka currently sits on the throne of Kakadid, but I am the true and rightful ruler of these lands. If you aid me in pressing my claim, I shall swear fealty to you. This sounds very interesting. I think we could do this. I think we're happy to accept that. I think we'll do it as long as she's going to swear to us and we'll get her to convert. We'll do that. Commes Vigilus approaches me with a straighter posture than usual and visibly eager about what he has to say. My liege, the people in your realm need the occasional joyous gathering where they can forget their stresses. I would gladly finance a feast, even if held under your name, as it's for the good of the Nova Roma, though I would duly expect a favour in recompense. I think we'd use our our diplomacy to. Yeah, agrees to. Yeah, there we go. No request for a favour. Heretics at large. My lord, I regret to inform you that the religious situation in my lands is out of control. I have tried to make my subjects see the light of our true faith, but too many of them persist in their wrong beliefs. I beg of you to use your authority and power to help me. We get Commes Aurelius to get hands on, and then our business here is done. Done and dusted. So we're now at war with the Kakadid. Imagine if we can get them to come under us. Imagine if we can get all of that to join us. We're going to immediately raise our troops up here in the newly conquered lands. Is the Holy Order busy? They are not. That's a big win for us. And then here we're going to move up. We're going to start pressing the siege here. Our son and vassal is going to be commanding the troops on our first foray north. And our reinforcements, our troops have been sent. They are about to arrive up here and to help out with the war here. Although honestly this war seems to be progressing very nicely. So what I'll do is I'll move them, I reckon, into our allies' land and we'll act more defensively with them. So our professional contingent of troops is not here. We can negotiate alliances, which I'm going to immediately do. I'm going to try and do this war without any allies being called in. I've been hosting your Chancellor Competence Chair for several weeks, and she has helped me. My Chancellor is doing the work that we pay her for. Here, our troops here, we're going to move them up and siege the next holding. And I think here we're just going to slowly carve our way towards the north. That's their army starting to appear. Whether they're going to have allies or not remains to be seen. If they come too close to us, we're going to go cut them off. I think what we'll do here is station besiegers. We'll fall back a little bit, just so we're not taking unnecessary attrition. And we might look to try and attack them if they try to go around us, which is looking very likely here. Let's go cut them off. We'll move the reinforcements. Yeah, see, we don't have the professional contingent that we've had previously. Luckily, our reinforcements have arrived and they've sort of won the day for us. If they hadn't got here, I think we'd have been in quite a lot of trouble there. Quite a lot of trouble. We're going to withdraw these men back to probably... In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to split them in half. I'm going to have half go there and half are going to stay here. We're just going to try and stay proactive, and if they do try to come and hit us. Spouse is a patron of theologians. We gain 500 piety. Wow. Mastermind philosopher. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that brings us past the amount we needed to reform the faith. We just need to end this war. Looks like we chose our wife very wisely. They're somewhat going around us here, so I think what we're going to do is move some troops back just to cut them off. We'll try and intercept. We've won the siege here. We'll move the men over here to reinforce. They're about to take that. We're going to move up here, see if we can try and cut them off, or at least make it difficult for them. We'll try and cut them off. Move some troops in there to reinforce. And the main body of our army can keep moving north. We'll just keep pressing towards them. Our actual troops over here, we need to sort of manage this theatre as well, I suppose. Our supply is looking a little rough. I think what we'll do is we'll perhaps move here and siege this for them. Try and help out. Spouse acting on my behalf. My wife spends a significant amount of time travelling the realm with her honour guard. There are many matters she can settle on my behalf, and the military presence Regina Bishwas Devi brings with her is firm reminder of my mighty rule. Yeah, I think my Regina and I, yeah, we stand in defence of the realm. We can also sponsor someone. She wants to make a Daiwan. I'm not really sure what that is, but I'll sponsor it. I've got quite a bit of extra money floating about, so I'm happy to allow that. Right, here we are sieging, which is what we want to be doing for our ally. I'm actually going to station besiegers here, and I'm going to move the rest of the troops towards the next holding. We want to be cutting down the amount of attrition we're suffering. Over here, we are doing just fine. They are sort of trying to go around us, but I think that's fine. We just want to be sieging here where we can. Going to combine the troops here. We're going to move them up. I think we're going to go for the capital. Looks like they're getting here. Yep, we've got the edge on. The only problem is they also have reinforcements coming. So this seems like a battle of many stages here. We've defeated the first army. The second army appears to still be coming in, so we'll just plant our flag here and try and defend. Looks like this is going to be another win for us. Excellent. We're going to move in. Continue sieging this. We'll split the army in half. We'll take half them towards that holding and we'll let everything progress as, hopefully as planned. Over to the east here, if we look, we have managed to take the first siege. I'm going to withdraw troops and try and resupply an allied land, because God knows supply's getting low. The war here is almost over. It's hopefully just a matter of time. And here we can hold a mystical commune, which is something I'm going to do. We'll also host a grand feast. Mystical commune, something wrong. My communions with the divine have been different lately. They no longer make me feel ecstatic, but instead weak. Today I cannot even muster the strength to rise from bread. Servants, help! We've gained a trait ill, and we gained divine guidance for 5 years. Okay, that's not what we were after. Hopefully we recover. Our feast, we have welcomed everyone to our cheery gathering. Time for a treatment. This is our wife. I don't think we want any more than is necessary. Our wife has came to my chambers and offered me a draught which was yellow in colour. She told me to pinch my nose as I don't like where this is going. The porcine waste. Excellent work. There we go. Reduced disease symptoms for 1 year. We have increased culture in Kylanium. You know what that means? Kylanium is now a good Roman town. We're first going to increase control down here in the south, and then increasing of culture. I think we want to try and spread out from Kylanium here and try and get a nice strong enclave up here in the northwest. Good work there though, good work. Sieges here are progressing nicely. I think this war's not got too many legs left in it. Barely managed to... There's people fighting again with our items. Now, who do we like least? Comitisa Hoidevate of Benvasi. Yeah, you're paying for that, I'm afraid. How dare you. So this siege is over. 99% war score here. I think what we'll do is we'll bring these troops back towards our land. Hopefully get them disbanded. And I think once this siege is over, that's probably the job done here. Supply here does seem to be a bit of an issue. So maybe if we move up there and siege that, they'll be close enough together they can help each other should it come to that. We'll allow that to continue. Up here, our guests depart. And it was an uneventful feast, which makes a nice change compared to some of the previous instances we've had. These guys have recovered. I think what we'll do is we'll come down here. Although it doesn't look like we need too much help, actually. Guess we'll move some troops up there, start sieging more in the north. I really want this war to be over soon. We're helping our ally here that would just joined in the war, and our families in marriage. We're dragged into it, kicking and screaming, basically. These sieges are going well. I think it's just a matter of time here. It really is. They're actually counter-sieging this. So let's not allow that. We'll station besiegers here. We'll move our army south, see if we can gather up enough forces to hopefully dislodge them. Over to the east, our sieges progress here. We'll resupply and then we'll head north again. Fighting in these mountains is certainly hellish, isn't it? I'm hoping we catch them before they break the siege here. It's not the first time I've heard talk of what a great servant Antonius is. And now Duke Valens has sent him to my court. He presents himself as a token of friendship between Valens and me. I mean, he's pretty balanced, but it doesn't seem that special a character. I mean, we're trusting, so I think we would accept him there. It looks like we're going to catch them in time. We just need to hope that we're actually going to win the battle as well. And Comitisa Aruvanke is coming in to bend the knee. Of course, I will graciously accept. And we've managed to just catch them. and we're overwhelming them just before they manage to take it. We are no longer ill. Excellent. This is a fantastic... Look at this. One more over. Another war's about to be over. Smallpox. Oh no. We'll isolate her. There we go. Right. We're going to end this war. And with doing so, look at that. Nova Roma has just massively expanded up here. That is huge. That's a big, big undertaking. We're also here, we're going to... We can't demand her conversion. Because she has a holy trait. Interesting. Okay, we'll need to keep an eye on that situation then. Didn't unclock that. We can build embassies. Each alliance gains +1 diplomacy. We'll allow that. We'll end that. And that, honestly, that's massive here. That's a big swathe of land. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counties we've just added. 6 extra counties. And the most exciting thing of all is our wife has become respected in certain circles and we can now reform the faith. Reforming Romanism will make it an organised faith. Organised faith have access to holy wars and their court chaplains are better at converting counties. Everyone bar one of our vassals will convert. All of our close family will convert. We're hitting the button. Reform faith. You've lost the patronage of the cult of Jupiter Holy Order. That's obviously not great. But we have reformed the faith. So if we look into the religious tab, Old Romanic is still around, but we're looking to convert. And I don't think it'll take too long. We just need to prepare that there may be a few civil wars and stay on our toes. This, though, honestly seems like an unspeakably great place to end up. We have done some great things here. There's been some nice little turns and twists. And we finish this with a reformed Romanic faith, as well as an additional tradition being added in 6 years' time to our mystic trait. To our mystic line of our culture. My friends, if people have suggestions on what they think is the best move to take next, I welcome them. And until the next one, goodbye for now.